Folks, I have 3 questions for you today. One, is Moses Moody going to get more playing time this season? Will he be someone reliable off the bench? Maybe earn a starting spot, play 20, 30 minutes a game in that range. 2, will Jonathan Kuminga make that jump to become an all-star caliber player? Is he even going to start? I see a lot of comments saying he shouldn't start. Is he a 3? Is he a 4? And question number 3, Brandin Podziemski, first team All-NBA as a rookie last year. Let me say, a All-NBA rookie team member, not All-NBA, a first team rookie All-NBA member. Is he going to make that second year jump? Is it going to be a slump in his sophomore year? Will he be a backup point guard for the second team? Will he start next to Curry? We're going to break down all these questions on this episode of Warriors Digest. We're 1 game in the preseason. We got some information from Kerr, some stats, some media. We're going to break down everything that's being said. Randy Silver here, Warriors Digest. Thank you for being with us. Like, subscribe, share if you want Warriors news daily. And folks, we got news daily for you. Let's get right into it. Please subscribe. So let's start with Moody. Going into his 4th year, he will be a restricted free agent if he's not signed by October 23rd, meaning this after the end of this calendar year, end of the basketball calendar year. He's a restricted free agent. He could go try to sign somewhere else, and Warriors will have 3 days to offer him. Now, the question is, will he get more playing time? We all think he deserves it. Kerr doesn't play him. Says he needs to be quicker. He needs to be move the ball faster, more decisive with his moments, with his movements, with what is happening. How's training camp going for him?
It's a numbers game. And so the only thing any of these guys can do is go out and have a great camp and make it really hard on us as decision makers. And Moses is having a great camp, and he's playing great. So all he can do is keep doing what he's doing.
So a lot to unpack there. It's a numbers game. That's the same thing that Steve Kerr has said about Moody the past 2 years. There was Clay in front of him, so it kind of makes sense. They play somewhat at the same position. But Clay is gone, so who's going to step into that role? You got Hield, Kuminga, Moody, Kyle Anderson, Melton, Podziemski. There is a lot of Wiggins. I haven't mentioned him. Wiggins was a friend of Moody that hasn't played as much the past couple of years. There's a logjam at that wing position. But Kerr said he's had a great camp. That's all you can do is earn it. He earned it by being a plus 14 on the efficiency, plus minus efficiency in the preseason game. Was the best at plus 14. His jump shot looks cleaner. It looks like he's quicker. He made 2 threes in that preseason game, and they were just catch and release. What Kerr wants. Catch, release, make quick moves. He looked like he was more mobile on defense, was getting some rebounds. By the way, you can see the stats below at the bar right there. The stats coming through, baby. Let's go. So, like Kerr said, he needs to be able to earn it, which I would say based off of preseason play he is. Again, the quote is, the only thing these guys can do is go out and have a great camp, and it makes it really hard on us as decision makers. Moses is having great camp. He's playing great. Just keep doing it. So to me, that means he's earning more playing time. He's showing he deserves to be on the floor. If I were to sign Moses, probably 10 to 25 million in that range. If you don't sign him before the start of this basketball season. Next season, if he plays really well, stock could go way up in that next offseason. I would like to see Moses probably get 20 to 30 minutes a game. Probably not starting. Again, my starting 5 is Steph, Brandin, Kuminga, Draymond, Trayce Jackson-Davis, and then Brandin takes a break after 5 minutes. Then you can either have Melton, you can have Hield come in, you can have Wiggins come in, and then Brandin becomes the backup point guard when Steph goes out and he gets those long minutes. And that's when Moody comes in with that second team as a proven scorer. Waters obviously did a nice job with those threes. We can rehash that if we want. So now the person who I think needs to be the number 2 scorer on this team, the person who needs to be an all-star level player, one, you get Wiggins back, but Jonathan Kuminga needs to become an all-star. He wants the bag. He wants, supposedly, reportedly, he wants the max extension. 5 years, $224 million. To do that, you got to be an all-pro. You got to be an all-star caliber player. He's not proven that in his first 3 years. We've seen glimpses, but he hasn't been to that level. If he even wants to sniff that, he's got to start basically every game, increase his scoring from around 16 points a game to 20 to 25, play 30 to 35 minutes a game, get around 8 to 9 rebounds, and 4 to 5 assists. And shoot 38% from 3 would be my benchmark. So what's Steve Kerr think about Kuminga so far in this training camp?
Yeah.
So how do you view him differently maybe now as you're...
Well, I have more confidence in him and his ability to continue to grow and impact the game. And so, the minutes are what they are. I mean, again, we look at everything during camp. We look at combinations. And, we just signed 3 really good players with Kyle Anderson, Melton, and Buddy Hield. So we're gonna try to win every game, whatever that means. And if guys separate themselves, like say Steph did in year 4 of his career, then that's where you start seeing 35 minutes. But go back and look, took Steph 4 years, and that was after 3 years of college, right? So, there's nothing, there's nothing guaranteed. It's just you separate yourself from the group, and you make it impossible for the coach to not play you. That's the only way to do it.
Whatever. You got to make it impossible for the coach not to play you by separating yourself. Kuminga is also going into his 4th year, meaning he's on a restricted free agency next offseason. If he does not get paid this offseason, technically we're still in offseason, we're in preseason. If he does not get paid before the first game of the season, he cannot be signed all season. It would be next year, same as Moody. If someone wants to go sign him, 3 days for the Warriors to match that offer. And honestly, there's really no incentive to sign either of them right now. Yes, maybe it'll cost you more in the back end if they have crazy good years, but that means the Warriors probably have a good year if they're both having crazy good years. And if they don't, then maybe you can get them at a discount. Kuminga, he looked good in that first preseason game. Unfortunately, the first play was a turnover by him, careless pass. He did pick it up after. I don't have his stats on me. Let me just get it really quickly. Kuminga played 19 minutes, went 3 of 8 shooting, 0-2 from 3. That's got to change. He's got to make his threes. 1-2 from the free throw line. A total of 7 rebounds, which was a game high. Plus 4 efficiency. 7 points. So not a bad first outing. Played 19 minutes, which was the most of anybody on the team. Well, Podziemski played 19, so they tied. So it's a pretty good outing by him in the first game. He's just got to be less careless with the ball. You saw a revamped shooting. He looked like he was not lost on defense, still made a couple of plays where he's got to be in the right position. He was out of position. And that's where Draymond really helps him on the switches. And we talked about this with Wiggins and Kuminga last season, where a negative plus-minus margin when they play together. When they play with Draymond, they're significantly better. So that's why I think you can't have Kuminga at 4 and Draymond on 5. This is going to be a very small team. You need someone at center, Looney or Trayce Jackson-Davis. We saw Quinten Post was way over his head. That's why he's a two-way player. He's not going to be your starter at 5. And Kuminga, if he can shoot from the 3, and then maybe you have Melton or Brandin at the 2, or you can push Wiggins up potentially. There's some combinations with wings. We're a very wing-dependent team. Now, someone, again, who's pushing to break out to be a starter again this year is Brandin Podziemski. Going into his 2nd year, had a great rookie year. By all expectations, surpassed it. Is a Steve Kerr favorite, a Joe Lacob, the Team Governor favorite. And the ESPN is now predicting for him to have a great year again as well. If we look at 11 breakout players, they just put this out, folks. So they're going over it. We'll be looking at this throughout. Potential all-star leaps, Mobley, Franz Wagner, not quite all-stars, but they're on the brink. Jalen Green with the Rockets, Jalen Johnson with the Hawks, Jalen Williams with OKC. If your name's Jalen, you're doing good in the NBA. In bigger roles incoming, Josh Giddey with the Bulls and Brandin Podziemski with the Warriors. So labeling him as KT, Klay Thompson replacement, is a misrepresentation. I agree. But he needs to step up. One, playing next to Steph. But really, as well, let me zoom in, when he's backing up for Chris Paul. Like, he's the new Chris Paul playing with that second unit. Brandon likes to play quicker than Chris Paul, which is better for Steve Kerr's offense because Chris Paul really liked to slow it down. So right here, if it says for the Golden State to get back to the playoffs, they need Brandon to step up his efficiency across the board and tackle greater defensive responsibilities that Thompson used to have. Brandon last year was number 1 in taking charges, which is crazy for a rookie to do that. But he's got to be better switching, keeping people in front of him, and overall guarding the harder players at the wing. It's a lot for a 21-year-old to ask, but he has the makeup to do it. He loves ball. All he cares about is winning. He doesn't have much of a physical advantage at NBA level. He is 6'5", which he's a bit taller than you would expect, 205. Terrific pace, picking spots, and can help lead this offense. But Podziemski needs to shoot 40% from 3. He missed an open 3. He maybe actually missed 2 open 3s in the preseason game. He's got to knock it down. Melton's the defensive stopper. Melton can also shoot. So if Melton's playing better defense and out shooting Brandon, then expect Brandon to be your 6th man off the bench or 7th man, depending when Curry comes out and he's playing a backup point guard. Hield can obviously shoot the ball lights out. Kuminga playing at that wing. The Warriors have a lot of combinations on offense, but for him to be an everyday starter, he needs to be more efficient and become a better defensive player. Great that he was on the all-rookie team, first team all-rookie, but let's make that step up. This Warriors team is relatively young behind Wiggins, Draymond, and Steph. You want an award as a rookie? Kind of become a leader on this team. So continue to be a leader for the Warriors. And that's your breakdown of Kuminga, Moody, Podziemski. Comment your thoughts. Let me know what you think. Do you think anybody should be rated higher, rated lower, anything in between? This is a dialogue. Warriors Digest is for the fans. I want to hear from you. Randy Silver, Warriors Digest. Subscribe. Don't miss any Warriors news daily. Out.